So I'd like to share with you my recipe for chicken salad today. And this is a very creamy chicken salad. It really reminds me of what I've eaten growing up here in the South. And so it's very just classic and simple. Like I said, it's very creamy. There's nothing fancy in here, except I am going to use some fresh herbs from the garden, if you want to call that fancy. So I got a little dill, a scallion, and I also had some parsley that I harvested at the river garden earlier in the week. And then I have this green frills lettuce over here. I want to go ahead and get some of that because I know we'll be getting a freeze soon, and I'm not sure if this variety of lettuce will survive a hard freeze, so I'll go ahead and grab it. I like to eat my chicken salad on a bed of greens, so I also had some watercress and some sprouts growing indoors that I'll use too. So here are the ingredients. You're welcome to do a screen capture with your device if you like. If not, you can print them out. They'll be below the video, or just jot them down. So here is my whole chicken, and I removed the giblet bag that was inside the cavity of the chicken, and I like to freeze these because one of my favorite things to make is something called dirty rice, and so I use these in my dirty rice. I also use them for giblet gravy around the holidays, and so I just put those right there in a freezer bag, and I'll always have them. And I cook about a chicken a week, so I don't like to waste anything, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm also going to make some chicken stock. So I'm killing two birds with one stone. I had some celery and some onion and carrots, and so I went ahead and threw those in here with the whole chicken, and a little bit of salt and pepper, and I brought it to a boil, and I reduced it to a simmer for about 3 hours. I went into more depth on how I do this in an earlier video, so I'll make sure to leave links to all these other videos I'm referring to. I'll leave them below this video. And so this is obviously the chicken I'm going to use for the chicken salad. And now I have a very nice, rich little broth slash stock for my soups and a lot of the other kind of cooking that I like to do, especially in the fall and the winter. And so I freeze all of this, and so I ended up with several quarts of wonderful, fresh, homemade chicken stock that I'll use later. So I let the chicken cool, and now I'm just going to make some mayonnaise. And you certainly can just use mayonnaise right out of the jar. Again, I showed y'all how I like to do this in an earlier video. And I guess the trick is really just to make sure that when you first start to make your mayonnaise, you just put a tiny bit of oil right there in the yolks at the very beginning. Don't try to put a lot of oil in at first. Then you can increase your oil as it becomes emulsified. So the ingredients for the chicken salad don't include the ingredients for the mayonnaise. Again, I'll leave that for you below the video if you want to make your own mayonnaise, and that's where you'll find all the ingredients for this. And now for my herbs, I'll just give them a fresh chop. I have the dill, the parsley, and the scallion. So I took out 1 cup of the garlic mayonnaise. If you're using store-bought mayonnaise, go ahead and grate in just about, I don't know, about a quarter or a half a clove of garlic, okay, because that probably won't be in the mayonnaise that you're using if you bought it. And so I went ahead and added some of the brine from the salad cubes that I'm using. Brine, give it a little bit of a vinegar taste. It has a lot of spices in there too, and it's a little bit sweet. Went ahead and added the lemon juice along with the mustard and some fresh ground pepper, and just mixed all this up really well. And now for my salad cubes, and you notice that I'm not using relish. I also went ahead and added my celery. I love how these two items add a little bit of crunch to the chicken salad, especially those sweet little salad cubes. And now for the herbs and the scallions right there, and just went ahead and mixed it all up real well. And now I can add my chicken, and be careful when you're picking through your chicken if you boiled it for a while, because sometimes those bones will break apart and you might have one in your chicken. So be real careful when you're pulling the meat off your bones. And I used a fork to mix all that in. I needed another sprinkle of salt, and I felt like I wanted some more of the little pickle brine too to give it a little bit of a tang and a little bit more sweetness. And it was looking really good. And remember, just taste it as you go and adjust your seasonings, especially your salt. You want to make sure it's salted. And it was just perfect. Oh, I just love it so much, and it's always just ready to go. And I love to serve it on a little bed of lettuce along with the sprouts and the watercress that I mentioned. And I'll be sure to leave links to how to grow those indoors through the winter if you want to do that too. So it's really good, and I hope that you can give it a try. Put it on some crackers, on a sandwich, or just like I like it, right there on a bed of lettuce. And if you haven't already, please feel free to click that little bell off to the right of the subscribe button, and you'll receive all notifications from my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a beautiful day.